Hello and welcome to Played RP. I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Niall, Alex, and Lewis.
Hello.
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 It's time for our video game book club Christmas special. At the end of the previous video game book club, each of us bought a game for one other person, and then that person has played the game, and now we're going to individually review the games that we're given. So let's just remind everyone who bought who what. So I bought Niall Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
I bought Lewis Ninja Gaiden.
I bought Alex Tearaway.
I bought Oliver No More Heroes.
No More Heroes. Right, we're going to start with Lewis first. So Lewis.
Oh no.
Right.
Let's
So the structure of this review, I'm just going all in. I'm just giving my thoughts on the game, and then that's it, right? I'm not starting now and then talking.
No, yeah. There's not much discussion in this one.
Okay. So Ninja Gaiden 1. Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma, to be exact, because that's the PC version. There are two versions of Ninja Gaiden 1. No, there's two versions of Ninja Gaiden 1. There's Ninja Gaiden 1 Black, and there's Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma. Sigma is a remake of Black, which changed some things. It was essentially the remake or re-release of the original game when like PS3 and SS360 came out, and obviously PC in the past couple of years. And it changes some things from the original game, not much, but some stuff is changed to the point where people consider the original Black to be better. But I think that's just like an elitist point of view, like a really big fan of the game, sort of thing. My experience with it. So I've played Ninja Gaiden 1 before. This is actually my second time playing it. When I played it originally, it was on the harder difficulties. This time I played it on normal, I believe it was. I think the free modes are like, it's not called baby mode, but it's called like something hero mode or something.
I think it is hero mode.
Yeah, where it's essentially the game will just basically play itself pretty much. So you just don't have to do anything. Then there's normal mode, and then there's a hard mode, and then there's like multiple difficulties you can unlock after that. The games are notoriously known for being hard. Playing through the game on normal this time around, it wasn't too bad. The game is still really, really challenging. It's one of the, I guess it's one of the more difficult games I've played in general, just in terms of like, from like a new player perspective. It's one of those games where if you're brand new and you've never played the game before, I think it's kind of insane the difficulty spike and difficulty that it requires. Oh, sorry, the skill that it requires from the player to actually be able to play and enjoy. It's one of those games where it feels like you need to have played it before, or at least had a couple runs on it before you fully get how the game actually plays. It's essentially the gameplay loop for the game, and what you do in the game is you play as a ninja called Ryu, and he wants to get revenge. It's just a generic revenge story. But the main draw of the game is it's really fast gameplay. It's really intense gameplay. It's very fluid, very fast, very flashy. And the fact that it's difficult, those the main things that like actually like draw people towards the game. And playing that myself, I definitely felt it. I was going into this expecting to not hate it. I definitely had a grudge against Niall for it. I think it's very silly. I'm going to call him out live on the podcast. It's very ridiculous that he did this. And
he also broke the rules.
He broke the rules, and he should be punished. I still feel like we should come up with a punishment for him, because he completely invalidated and broke the rules of the whole Christmas podcast.
Well, I think the punishment should be that he needs to play Ninja Gaiden, because that
maybe,
was the rule
honestly, yeah, that would be a fair punishment. Because he has not completed this game. He has not played this game. Like, he just hasn't. I know he hasn't.
I haven't.
So
I didn't realize you had.
He should.
I thought you have to.
He should be majorly punished for it. But anyway, regardless, I after playing it, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I didn't want to play it. I very much did not want to do it, mainly because, like I said, it came out of spite. I didn't want to play something that came from a place of hatred.
Yeah. No.
But it was, it ended up actually being quite fun. The game's not too long, especially on the lower difficulty levels. I'm sure even if you played it on hero mode, it would be even better for someone who wants to experience these games again. Like, the thing is, if you experience this game on the easiest mode, I don't think it would offer much. The story is very nothing.
Yeah.
It's very lackluster. Like I said, it's just a very simple revenge plot. So playing it on an easier mode, I don't think would really benefit anyone. But playing it on normal, I still think it was enough of a challenge where even people who don't think they're good at games could still like find enjoyment in it. But yeah, I thought it was really fun. The boss fights are really fun. It's one of those games where it's kind of like Dark Souls, where you need to keep doing the bosses over and over again, to get like a sense of their patterns and how to actually beat them. And it does feel very rewarding once you get those patterns down. The general gameplay on the way up to the bosses is just essentially making your way through a level and just getting through waves and waves of enemies.
Is the checkpoint right before the boss?
No, not. When you say right before, in most games, you'd expect it to be right outside of the door.
Yeah.
It is not.
Okay.
In Ninja Gaiden, for example, even like I said, the first level, for example, the boss is at the top of this stairway, and up this stairway, there's multiple enemies on the way up the stairway. It starts you from the bottom of the stairway, so every time you want to restart the boss, you have to climb this stairway. So you either have to kill the enemies or risk running past them and them hitting you on the way past, and then you have less health for the actual boss fight. I think it's very dumb. It's actually one of the negatives. It's honestly good that you brought it up. It's one of the games. It's one of the mechanics and features that sort of brings a lot of fatigue into like the gameplay experience, because if you're constantly losing at a boss, it's one thing in a game to be punished for losing for a boss. Like, you lose at a boss, you restart. Your punishment should be that you just sucked ass, you died, you have to do the boss from the beginning. That should be like more than enough punishment. I don't think it's fair to die to a boss that's really difficult and then essentially make you play like a third of the level again just to get back to the boss, and on the way to the boss you could lose your health. I think that's very silly.
It's such a simple thing to fix as well. It's such a simple thing.
It is. It's one of those things where, like, honestly, I'd be surprised if there's not a mod for it. Like, something that's just like a quality of life thing that just makes the game more enjoyable. Because stuff like that isn't. I don't care if it makes it more difficult. It's not enjoyable. Like, difficulty in a game shouldn't be made by making it tedious. No. That's not a good way to do difficulty.
The thing is, you've already proven you can get past that point because you've got past it.
Exactly. So, like, a checkpoint right before the boss should be a thing in just every game, to be honest. But I get this is also a game from like 23 years ago at this point. I think like it's an old game.
Was it original Xbox, this one?
Yeah. So Ninja Gaiden Black. It was originally called Ninja Gaiden Black. That came out on the Xbox, and then when they re-released it on Xbox 360 and PS3, they re-released it as Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Where they just added a couple of cutscenes and they changed the enemy layouts of where they are in the levels and just like stuff like that. Generally just like a revamped version of the game so like original players could still play it and find a difference. But in terms of positives, like I said, it's very, very fluid, very fast, very fun. You really do feel like a ninja, I guess, when you're fighting stuff. Like it's a very like high octane, very just like a good, rewarding game when you do stuff right. I just think in terms of negatives, I just think the gameplay style is a bit outdated. Again, it's a game from like 23 years ago, early Xbox era of gaming. It's just incredibly unforgiving if you're not paying attention. I imagine if you're playing on the harder difficulties, I didn't play on the harder difficulties, but I imagine if you're playing on the harder difficulties, you're gone. This is going to be a game that if you play on normal, it's probably going to cost you like 10 hours or so. If you're playing on like the hardest difficulty, you're probably talking upwards of like 30 hours. Jeez. Like it's that difficult. Which some people want that kind of style of game, some people don't. I don't know how Ninja Gaiden 4 holds up, the one that just came out recently. I think in general, like people seem to like it a lot, but I don't know how difficult it is, especially compared to like modern gaming, because we've sort of, I guess, changed the boundaries a bit now with like Souls-like games and stuff, and that's sort of the standard for difficult games nowadays. So I don't know if the Ninja Gaiden 4 or Ninja Gaiden 4, sorry, matches the difficulty that we're getting with current games and stuff, whether it's harder or easier. But if people are going back to play this one, playing Sigma, playing 1 for the first time, then they're definitely going to be in for a challenge, because it very much is a product of its time. But I think they will have fun with it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I had a much better time with it than I was expecting to, even if Niall did break the rules massively.
That's got to make Niall sad, doesn't it?
No, it does. It makes me very sad. Hoping for a 1 out of 10, but here we are.
Just to protect Lewis's street cred as well, the footage that you're currently seeing right now was not recorded by Lewis.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen this footage, but Alex has been talking bad things about it. It was Alex who recorded this.
It's fine now, but towards the beginning it was quite rough.
It gets rough towards the end of the footage, which you probably won't see.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll move on. So next is Alex, who was playing
Tearaway. Yes. So I got Tearaway from Lewis. So Tearaway was always one of them games where I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks like an Alex game. Will I probably play it? No. So when I got it and I was like, and when Lewis was saying that I haven't played it and stuff, I was like, all right, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'll give it a go. The game is very, very gimmicky. That's my main issue with it. You can tell it was made for the Vita. There was moments where I was, because obviously you have to hold your controller and it has like a light in it, and that's like the main way of attacking the enemies. There was times where I just wanted to hit the enemies, but it doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to shine the light on the enemies and move your controller and throw them off the edge. And I thought that was quite annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Considering they give you like a jump button and stuff to like jump on the enemies, but then sometimes you have to pick up the enemies and throw them. There are moments where you have to use the touchpad, but you also have to jump at the same time. So you have to hold the controller in a weird claw formation where you like touching it, because obviously it was made for the Vita, which had the touchpads on the back.
Yes.
So obviously it's going to like take that into consideration. I thought the actual like gameplay and stuff was fine. The story was very strange. You're getting followed by the guy who voices Daddy Pig from Peppa Pig. So
Oh shit.
yeah, so it's a very like nice, soothing voice that's like he's like, "Hello there." I think that's a very good impression, to be honest. Yeah, there's not much for me to say really. It's a whole lot of nothing, but with like it's just very, very gimmicky.
I mean, yeah,
there were moments where I'd forget that I'd have to like use my controller and like move it and stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm literally just running around in circles. I'm like, oh, I have to hold right trigger and use my controller as a light for like certain things.
No, I don't disagree that it's gimmicky, but I just wanted to ask, do you feel, because I've only played the Vita one, I've only played the Vita version, I've not played the PlayStation version. I was wondering how the gimmicks translate to the PlayStation version of the game with the controller, and do you think, or at least when you were playing it, during your experience, did you feel like you could tell that the levels or the mechanics that it was doing was designed with the touchpads on the back? Like, did it affect you playing the game a lot to the point where you could notice that it wasn't really made for the PlayStation controller and it was more for the Vita controller, or did that not really come across? Because I've only played the Vita one. I've never seen how it plays on the PlayStation.
I mean, like I said, like there was moments where I had to hold it in a claw for me. Where's my PlayStation controller? There we go. Like there was like it's a Spider-Man. Yeah. So there's times where I'd have to like hold the touchpad like that while I was moving and jump.
Yeah.
So it was quite awkward sometimes. I could tell it was made for the Vita. That was like the biggest like takeaway from the game, because there's just a lot of moments where it just uses the touchpad for like no reason at all, which could just be like me just pressing the X button to jump, for example. There's a lot of the moments as well which were where I had to like design stuff and I couldn't be asked.
Did you draw a wee little blue penis on a crown?
I did. It was funny.
That's just been on the footage of what's going on here.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I was just having a bit of fun with it. I was like, "Can I draw a cock on this? Why not?"
Yeah. Well, one of the main reasons I chose the game for you, is because it's very short. It's very, very short, and it's very much a game that I haven't really experienced anywhere else, because the game itself isn't, I don't want to say it's not a game, but it's like, it's sort of like a game that's just where the gameplay is just sort of a bunch of different mechanics and moments. It's not really like a game that's structured from beginning to end as like one cohesive thing. It's just sort of a game where
it's like a tech demo.
You just sort of go up to things and go to places, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you sort of do something, and then you go somewhere else and do the same thing. Like, it's a weird game, but I wanted you to play it for that reason, because it's very short. And I think a one-time playthrough offers an experience that you can't really get in any other game, at least not one that I've played off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think the best thing to compare this to is probably Astro's Playroom. Not Astro's Bot, Astro's Playroom.
Yeah.
Because
the PS5.
it's a very like sandboxy type thing where it just feels like this should have been like, like the tech demo for the PS Vita to be like, this is what the PS Vita can do.
Yeah.
But obviously, porting it to the PS4, it doesn't really. It works, but it doesn't work well. That's like the main issue with it. If I was to give it a score, though, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Okay.
Like it wasn't bad, but I don't see myself going back to it ever. And it was just too gimmicky. That was like the main problem with it. If I could have mapped the touchpad to a different button and be like, right, yeah, that's just the square button. I'm pretty sure you don't even use the triangle button at all in the game. Like one of the buttons is roll, one of them is jump, and one of them is punch, and that's pretty much it. But you barely even. I don't think you can punch actually. Yeah, you just jump and roll, basically Sonic.
I can't remember. It's been many years since I played it, but I remember thinking at the time this was clearly made for the Vita because I have played the PlayStation version.
Yeah.
But I think I played the Vita version as well. To be fair, okay, we'll move on to Niall.
Hello.
Niall, give
So
us
I played
a 9 out of 10.
I played. One thing I'll say straight away is I cannot believe you like this game. I just think it's literally like the least Oliver game that you could have given me, like on paper anyway, because a lot of the negatives which I have to say about this game are stuff which you would say about a game I would pick for you. So, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed my time with Phoenix Wright. I'll say my score immediately. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. It was actually starting off higher, but anyway, I'll go. So the stuff which I really liked is I thought the overarching story, particularly the main characters, like sort of the traditional sort of rags to riches story, starting off as like a newbie, ended up being quite competent. Like it was sort of how would you put it? Like it seemed like he was unrealistically incompetent at the beginning, but that just gave him like sort of more room to run to become better, and you really want to root for him the whole time because he's also you, so that makes sense. Few of the recurring characters in the story I thought were really good. Gumshoe and Edgeworth, for very different reasons, were my two favorites. Anytime they're in a scene, obviously Edgeworth in the actual trials were really good. In terms of the writing, I thought the dialogue was often really good, well written, very funny in certain places as well. There were some characters which were written to be particularly annoying, which were very annoying because especially when you're doing like the testimonies and when you're sort of like hitting against a wall, of like trying to figure out like where the lie is and that sort of thing, then repeating the lines over and over again and doing the same actions and the same barks, it can be very frustrating. The feeling, but so one of my negatives is also a positive. The feeling that you get when you do what the game wants, where you are uncovering the truth and calling successful objection when you are on the same wavelength for the game, and then eventually leading to like the suspect crashing out and their like portrait changing, always feels incredible when you get that right with no hiccups. And how this progresses as well. Like I wasn't expecting the mechanic to actually progress as you get further and further on in the game, but it does. All of that feels like you are being a really good lawyer, and it feels really good that you're getting like a one-up on them. However, what I didn't like is that for the game to be fun, you need to be on that same wavelength, because very quickly, all of the smoke and mirrors around how the game works comes crumbling down when you are not on that same wavelength. I have one specific example which stood out to me right at the beginning, which was in the second case when you were the woman was saying that the two people in the room went off to the side and that's where the attack happened. I was specifically given a floor plan which showed that she could not have seen that if they went off to the side. I kept on trying to use that as evidence. They were like, "Are you an idiot? This has nothing to do with anything." And I was like, "What?" First of all, that evidence wasn't used for anything in that whole case. I don't think. I can't remember it being. But like the fact that that was given, and then they said very specifically they went off to the right, and then it wasn't a thing is ridiculous. And that was the point. It happened a couple times before, but that was the point where I realized it is not about me being smart. It's about me doing what the game wants, which was when it took its like biggest hit in terms of score for me. And that's one of the reasons why I think that I can't believe that you like it, because that's where it like strips back from being like a like a gamey game, and it just goes to actually just being a visual novel with deceptively very little interactivity.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I did think the investigating beforehand, in the before trials and in the middle of trials was good. It's just another thing as well is that in order to progress, you needed to do everything. And that's what made me think like it would have been so much better if you had a minimum amount of evidence you had to gain, but there was some sort of effect on the trial. If you had like the minimum amount or you had the maximum amount, or in between, like what you could actually use. Like this is the minimum you need to get a verdict, but you really have to push them in every word. You need to make sure you're getting them like on the ropes, like every single testimony, in order to make it work. And this all like is sort of underpinned by the fact that you can't fail really in a meaningful way. And I think if there was a fail state, and if there were things that you could do in order to improve your chances or worsen your chances, and if you made mistakes it actually mattered, then it would have allowed the game to give you a bit more agency in what avenues you could go down and what you could call out. Because yeah, with the way the game's structured, with so many pieces of evidence, especially as you get further on, so many testimonies, so many individual things, there's going to be so many opportunities for players to have different perceptions of what they mean. And so making it so binary means that it's going to be common for players to get the wrong end of the stick and not do what the game wants you to do. So yeah, I think it was fine. I just think it was one of those games. I don't know. What game did we say recently? But we haven't done the review for that yet. But we've talked privately, and saying that like Dispatch feels like a game that should be watched rather than played. Whilst this game I feel is way more like that, because it didn't feel like it had any impact whatsoever on the game. Really, it was just stalling until I did the right thing, and then it would continue with the story. So unless that improves for the sequels, I don't think I'd play again. But there was a lot of like positives, and like I said, when you do things right, it makes you feel good. That it was above a 5, but it was starting off a lot higher than that because I thought it had more legs than it did.
Interesting. So to answer your question, so the reason I don't like visual novels going forward is because of this game. And I think this is the best one that I've played, and everything else after it seemed kind of shit in terms of it being an actual visual novel. But the only reason I really got it is because I remember it was one of those fucking classic trips to fucking game when I was trading in loads of stuff because I wanted to buy something quite low. I remember I traded loads of games so I could get a DS Lite, and then I realised towards the end of the thing I'm not going to actually have enough money here to get a game with the DS Lite. So so I had maybe 15 quid. I think the only one they had that I could afford was Phoenix Wright. So I thought, just give it a go. It was great. Loved it. The music is genuinely some of the best music in any video game ever, and all the characters are really likable. I really enjoy Phoenix Wright, and I do want to play. I don't think I ever finished the second one. I'm like one case off finishing the second one. But I do want to play them all at some point because the story goes on quite a lot as well. Because it's like you got your Phoenix Wright games, and then you've got Apollo Justice, which is
Oliver, your audio's cut out.
Your audio's cut out.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
hello.
No, you don't.
No, you do.
Yeah. Which is mad because your Discord is popping up green whenever you're speaking.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
can
just
hear
no
you, but
audio's
it's
coming
got
through.
I don't know quite.
Oh,
there
you're
you
back.
are, you're
Oh, there
back.
we go.
Okay, cool. Anyway, right. What was the last thing that I said then?
The story goes on quite a
Yeah,
bit.
the story goes on,
Right.
and then you stop.
Yeah, I think somewhere in this room a Bluetooth thing is just connected to my PC, and it's messing with my audio. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So music was very good. The characters were all very good. But yeah, there's Apollo Justice, which is another lawyer, like a younger lawyer. At one point, he goes back in time, like for the original detective, whatever he's called, the great detective. Do you guys know?
No.
I've only played the first one.
Yeah, I can't remember. And then
There's also the spin-off where you play as Edgeworth as well.
Yeah, the spin-off where you play as Edgeworth. There's also Apollo Justice versus Phoenix Wright.
There's Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright.
Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright. It goes on quite a lot. And I do want to play all the games. I really do.
Seems like a great duo, that.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, fair enough. 6.5 out of 10. Did you say now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Alec, and you're currently winning, which is the saddest fucking part in terms of who got the best score.
Yeah, man. I picked good shit.
That's ridiculous. Right, we'll move on to mine. So I got given No More Heroes by Alex, and it's a complicated one. It's a complicated one. So the general premise of the game is you're an assassin, or like a failed assassin, or a bad assassin, or something like that, and eventually you want to work up the ranks from rank 10 to rank 1. And I believe the majority of the reason he wants to do that is to sleep with the lady who's in charge of the assassin people, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he plays a guy called Travis Touchdown. Oh, he's a cheeky fella. It's like someone from Japan just saw one video of the West and thought, yeah, that's it. That's for me. So it's incredibly exaggerated, is what I call the character. But anyway, in terms of the gameplay, so the main missions are you are going to a place and trying to kill the assassin that is next in top of you. So if you're like on number 10, you'll be going to kill number 9, so you can then become the 9th ranked assassin. So the main missions are just working your way through enemies and eventually fighting the boss. The combat is it is quite basic sword combat, but they're throwing quick time events as well to make it seem like there's something going on there, but there really isn't. It is very, very basic. So, like, for example, you do enough damage to a character and it'll say hit right on your analog stick, or when it was the Wii version, I'm sure it will swing your sword, and then you'll behead them and stuff like that.
It was swing the nunchuck and the Wii remote at the same time in the direction it tells you to.
Yeah, so you do that, and when you get out of those levels, so in between, there's like a kind of open world where you go and do jobs, or you go and do like little assassination missions to get more money, so then you can pay for your entry into the next match. So jobs, we'll start with jobs first of all. So they can be quite fun. I actually enjoyed quite a few of those, and the assassination contracts again. I actually enjoyed them. They were short, they were sweet, and there was always like a clear goal in what to do. They were quite varied as well. Like, obviously, some were quite like stupid and you can like mow the grass or pick up coconuts or something like that. But it was, I enjoyed those. I thought they could be quite funny. The actual main missions were a real mixed bag for me, like a real mixed bag. Some of them I enjoyed, some of them I really, really, really did not, especially when it came to the boss fights. So I'll mention 2 off the top of my head. So first of all, the Magician, if you remember that, whoever else has played it.
Let me have a look.
So the Magician.
Do you know what number he was?
I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it was just after the sand one.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, he's like
of
4th,
course.
I think.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. So
Yes, I remember.
that boss fight was fine, apart from the fact that it kind of forced you into the same cutscene over and over again, where he was going to like saw Travis in half, and then Travis disappears, and then he disappears. I saw that because I only took one try for that boss fight, but I saw that cutscene maybe 15 times. That wasn't me dying and coming back. It was during the sort of fight I was still alive, and he kept doing it over and over again. It was really, really irritating. A boss fight that I didn't do the first time was the one on the beach. I can't remember what her name was. She had 1 leg or 1 arm or something like that, and she laid mines on the beach. Gosh,
Holly.
It was so frustrating. It was so frustrating because you're just constantly running into these holes and blowing up, and then she fills them in, and then you constantly run into them again. And you have to do quick time events to get out of the hole, so you've got very little time. And she could run at least 3 times faster than you to get to the entire other side of the map. So you then have to cross this minefield just to get to her, and there's very little time to do actual damage to her. So it takes so long. You end up dying just out of sheer fatigue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. A lot of the bosses can be frustrating, especially the first time playing them.
Yeah, exactly. But some, like I said, some I really did enjoy. I genuinely did, especially towards the end of the game. I'll get into why in a second. So, the jokes in the game. And it's not my kind of humor at all. It's not. It was the same jokes over and over and over again. The video rental one. If you remember that, every time you completed a mission, you got a voicemail off the video rental place, and it was always the same joke every single time. Haha, you've rented this dirty tape off us and not returned it. It was funny the first time. It really was. But yeah, no. I made the mistake of not exploring the map, which is probably going to bring my score down a little bit. It is it's not necessarily the game's fault. It's my fault, but it affected my enjoyment of the game. So it doesn't really tell you what things are on the map. That he just puts a wee little icon on there and expects you to go and check it out. But there's the gym for increasing like general stats, like your health and your strength and all that, and then you can upgrade your katana. Which I didn't do until maybe I think it was like 3 bosses from the end, maybe 2 bosses, because I didn't know you could. So eventually, just before the second boss. The second boss, I think it's the one. I think it's like the cheerleader lady, and she's got like a
that's the second to last one.
Yeah, second to last one. So I fought her once and thought, this is fucking impossible. This is undoable. Could not do it at all. It was just because the fight was just taking so long. So again, it was out of fatigue more than anything else, in that I could not get this boss's health down fast enough. But I came pretty close, to be fair. But yeah, then you guys told me, yeah, you can upgrade your katana and you can upgrade your strength and all that. And then I beat her first time when I went in next time. And it was really fast as well. The end of the game was still quite difficult, like the last boss and stuff. But it was I think if I didn't know about the upgrades before then I wouldn't have completed this game at all. I just wouldn't have done it. I would have stopped out of frustration.
Yeah.
So I feel like it could just explain that a little bit better. But yeah, I've always wanted to play a Suda 51 game, because I remember seeing, like, back when I used to read like official Nintendo magazine back in the day, there was a lot of coverage of like Killer 7.
Yes.
And stuff like that, but I never wanted to enough to go out and play or go out and buy a GameCube game, because I was only a wee little kid and didn't have a lot of money, and I'd rather spend it on like Mario Baseball, you know what I mean? But I think this confirmed that the game's out for me. I don't think a Suda 51 game is for me. I'm glad that I played it. But yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
What's the ending to the game if you don't? Because I know there's a real ending, but I don't know what the ending is if you don't get the real ending.
I cannot remember this. I remember taking the screenshot of the credits and then think, oh, I'm so glad that's over, but I cannot remember. I know obviously he defeats the last one, who's the girl who he knew. I think who killed his parents, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. You fight.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years since I played it. So
Jean, is it?
Yeah, something like that. And that
she's got like the big.
His cat.
She's got like the big pink dragon thing that like it's in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like she keeps like constricting, making the battlefields smaller. But yeah, I actually enjoyed that boss fight. It was really good. But yeah, I can't remember what happens after that. I think it's all right. It's going back to me. So
don't you fight your brother?
That's the real ending.
Oh, of course.
You fight Henry Cooldown.
Yeah.
He's called
Henry Cooldown.
Yeah. You got Travis Touchdown and his twin brother Henry Cooldown.
As far as I remember, you go back to your apartment, and I think someone points a gun at your head or something like that. I really can't remember, but because I wasn't all that interested in the story. But it was all right. 6 out of 10. So against all odds, the man who broke the rules got the highest scoring game.
I think he should get points deducted.
I think he should as well.
To be fair, he should. Yeah, I feel kind of bad.
Let's just boot him off the fucking podcast.
Give it to him.
Follow some basic instructions, Niall.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I did have an idea that maybe Lewis would like it, because it is. The point was, it's like, oh, right, you like platformers, which are really difficult. Here's the hardest one that I can think of. And turns out, yeah, he does like platformers, which are difficult.
Is Ninja Gaiden a platformer?
There's platforming.
Oh,
there you go.
I don't know about a platform.
Yeah, no, I was seeing red. I was in a blind rage after being forced to play Ghost Runner. I wasn't thinking straight. But
the thing is,
it wasn't very Christmassy. I know.
But... No, but it wasn't very Christmassy. But also, I didn't choose Ghost Runner maliciously. Everyone else was fine with it. Everyone else had a fine time. That was just you.
No, I know. And then I chose Ninja Gaiden maliciously.
But that's not my fault, though.
No, I know. No, I know. But yeah, here we are. Maybe next year I won't be angry, and then someone will get a good game.
Right. Anyway, that's Christmas over with. Christmas done. Get rid of the Christmas shit. Right. Here
Christmas
we are.
in the bin.
Christmas is in the bin. Back to usual stuff where we are now back to 20 questions
Oh, 20 questions.
for the next game. Lewis thought the podcast was over then. We're going back to 20 questions, and unfortunately, God help us, it is Niall's turn to pick.
I only pick good games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep track.
You'll keep track. Okay.
No, I'm keeping track because
Okay, I will stop
you're
keeping track.
the enemy.
You're the enemy.
Okay.
Right. So, who would like to go first?
Me.
Oh,
Go on.
I want to go first.
Go on then.
Feel free.
Niall, is
Yes.
this game from the first person perspective?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
It's your turn, someone.
I don't know why I'm keeping track of the questions still.
Niall,
Yes.
is it on Game Pass?
I doubt it.
Damn,
Just
he
double check.
hasn't even checked.
I'd assume
I
that.
think we're all made of money.
Oh golly gosh, I don't want this game to be on my screen.
Quick look in the reflection of his glasses.
Yeah.
It is not
Not on Game Pass.
on Game Pass.
Damn. Is this? Is it a Nile special? Is it a game? And you know what I mean by that? Is it a game that we definitely haven't heard of?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Can we guess it?
I can confirm that it is not a game that you definitely haven't heard of,
Right. Okay.
and I
Is
have
that
the
triple
evidence.
negative.
Oh, no, yeah, so I know at least someone who knows of this game, and I have evidence to back it up.
All right.
Someone knows.
Which worries me, the fact that
Yeah.
he's gathered evidence for it.
Oliver's mentioned.
Well, it was
3
accidental
years
evidence,
ago.
so I got very worried. Yeah, but no, it's fine.
Okay, go on, Lewis.
Wait, did Alex have a question?
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
Oh.
Game Pass.
Oh, of course. I think we should try and narrow down the date.
Yeah.
Probably.
You love narrowing
Did
down
this
the date.
game come out after? I need to. From 2023 onwards.
No.
Oh, that's surprising. I was expecting it to have been released this year.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's
same.
I wanted to try and figure. Yeah, I wanted to try and get something. I wanted to know if it was like recent, but yeah, it must be an old. I mean, unless it's 2022, which would be a bit annoying. But yeah, we know it's not recent.
Not recent.
Was the game released between the years of 2020 and 2022?
No.
Down. Right. So it's right. Okay.
We're going 2 years at a time.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Well, I thought it would have been kind of recent,
Yeah.
but
It's an old head game.
It is an old head game, which is it's surprising me. It's Nile. I'm trying to think with Nile brain. Is this going to be PC only? You know what I mean? Do we need
Possibly.
to? I want to know whether it was released on a console.
That's difficult trying to track down a PC only game because a lot of games aren't PC only, especially nowadays.
I'm going to go on a limit here, Lewis, and say we're not going to get this game. I guarantee.
You said someone knows of it.
I know, but it's going to be me, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no,
so-
yeah, you will have mentioned it like 7 years ago, probably.
Right. Well, I'm gonna. Was this exclusive to PC?
Yes.
You should have said, "Is this exclusive?" Not was that. That doesn't help us at all.
It is as well.
It is.
and
Right,
more.
yeah.
All right, okay. Because if it was, then that implies that it could have just been put on something else, and that doesn't help.
Fair play.
Me. Right, so it's first person, and it's a bit of an oldie.
At least 5 years.
No, the chances of that. I was going to ask about the franchise thing, but I doubt it's part of a franchise. I mean, it could be, but I'm going to assume it isn't. I'm going to say, is this game? Would you say the game is a narrative-focused game? Would you say it's like a narrative-driven game?
Yes.
Right.
First-person narrative-driven game,
Narrative, yeah.
which
like a
to
story
me
for-
says there's only
yeah.
one genre it could be. I think that's a walking.
I think it's a
simulator.
walking sim, yeah.
I'll burn the question.
Yeah, burn
Is it a walking sim?
It is.
A PC exclusive walking. Wait a minute.
Oliver hasn't played as
Oh,
well. Oliver's
wait.
played quite a few. Yeah.
Someone's clicked.
Could this be the beginner's guide?
You
Because
could straight up-
he
you
knows
could
that.
straight-
He knows that I haven't played it. He knows.
You could, yeah, that's what I mean. Because it has to be one that you haven't played. Because
Yeah.
I know you've played quite a few. So
And I know that most, nearly all the ones that I've played have had console releases.
yeah,
The
exactly.
only one that I know for sure hasn't is the beginner's guide. We can burn a question by asking.
I think
can't
it's a
we?
very good shout. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah?
early on, yeah.
Niall, is it the beginner's guide?
It is.
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
fastest we've ever done it. That.
That is
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably one of the nichest games as well. But yeah, no, I was stressed out because on Steam it says you played it before. So I went on. It was probably briefly booting it up or something. But yeah, I went on Your Hell to Beat and it wasn't there, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have had to change the game. I was stressing about this whilst we were talking about No More Heroes.
8 questions.
8 questions.
8
very good.
questions.
The
Right,
beginner's
there we
guide.
go.
Have you got your trailer up?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't even think.
Is it broken?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's broken since all the technical issues, but that's fine. Just look up a trailer for Beginner's Guide if you don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
There we go. Don't look up too much though.
Yeah.
You'll probably get spoiled very quickly if you do.
Is it made by the same people that made the Stanley Parable?
It is made by just Davey Reedon, and like a couple of music composers.
So is that the fella who made Stanley Parable?
It is. There were a couple of. Oh no. There were some other people on it, but yeah, it was definitely. It was his follow up to the Stanley Parable.
Oh, this is post Stanley Parable.
Yeah, post Stanley Parable. It's only about an hour and a half, and it is a story which will change your life. And I'll leave it at that.
Cool. Well, we'll be reviewing that at the end of January. I believe this actual episode goes out on Christmas Day, so I hope everyone's had a good Christmas.
Merry Christmas
and I hope we have a new year. We shall see you in the new year. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.